Hey guys, Glacier Path here. It's August 10th. We're going to go over GameStop and AMC. This is the 4-hour chart. This is the path that I did see, and sure enough, this morning we got the gap up on the Bloomberg article that Ryan Cohen is considering pulling the bid for the eBay offer. Obviously, that's just a rumor. There's no validity to it at the moment. But I like what I saw. We got a gap up and we crapped after that gap up. So I personally wanted $20 because I was going to take a short position there, but you can't force the trade, and oh well. But this little path here I do think is going to be accurate. If I look at the RSI, I'm seeing that it went into oversold territory and we had a bounce. So what I'm going to guess is, and we'll see how accurate this is, but I'm going to guess the RSI is going to come back down to the low, maybe even lower like that. Slightly, probably not that low, but maybe something like that. We set a new leg down as it's shown here, and then I think we're going to get the sideways congestion, something along those lines. And then towards the end of August, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe the third week of August, potentially we can see a bullish divergence on the RSI. So what we would want to look for, and what I'm looking for, is essentially a sort of like a double bottom here, or maybe even like a lower low, something like that. But on the RSI, we're seeing that divergence. We're seeing a higher low. Okay, so we'll kind of see how this plays out. Again, you need to have patience here. I explained in my last video why I think $18 and about basically 18, well, let's just say this, 17.90 to like 18.25, 18.30 is that sweet spot. And that's sort of where this box is, okay? And if you remember from the last video, this white shelf on the overall channel is sort of this area of concern, this area of support, this target area where I think things could get explosive, just like it did here on this white shelf as well on the channel. Okay, so really nothing much to say about GameStop. Everything looks good. We just got to be patient, and I'm waiting for this to push a little bit lower down to the low 18s and then just kind of see how price reacts. But let's go ahead and just kind of like leave this here and sort of see what price does if that, moves along the path pretty nicely there. But right now, structure is showing me that it's pretty likely that maybe in the next 1 to 5 trading days, we would get sort of to this low here, 17.90 to 18.30. You could get some additional chop at support here at the 18.50, and then you could dump, but really it's just more congestion. So let's go over to AMC. This is getting a little more interesting, to be honest. Let me throw on the daily. So here's the upward channel, the rising channel, and every time price, and I created like a little bit of a time cycle here on these vertical yellow lines here, but you can see when it hits the bottom on these red X's, it shoots up towards the upward part of the channel. And then you have, before you hit the top, you have this midline congestion. So we do that, we congest in the midline, we hit our top, we come back down to the bottom of the channel. We move back up, we have our midline congestion, we go to the top of the channel, we sell off. In this case, we had dilution from Adam Aaron. We go to the bottom channel. We hit the bottom of the channel, we move up, we have more midline congestion. So what happened interestingly here is that it actually created a double top. Instead of moving to the higher high, it created a double top here. And so now we potentially have a cup and handle setup, which now we're hitting the midline, not the midline, the second to last support of the rising channel, this white line. And could we go a little lower? Sure. But I think we're probably going to bounce here, more than likely around 230, whether it's this blue path or yellow path. But one thing to note, volume is continuing to decline. Sellers, however you want to look at it, there is some tiring out here around this 230, 240 mark. And you just got to be patient here. I think this could go either way. I think we could start pushing up to 350 to maybe 370, possibly even $4, as high as $4 here, and maybe we even start this week the move up. And then you kind of create that cup and handle where you would get a cup and handle, you would get a breakout, and then you get another cup and handle, and then a breakout, and that would be the final breakout of the channel. The other scenario we could do is essentially just continue to sell off towards the next time cycle, towards the end of August. So if you look at the synergy from AMC and GameStop, the third week to the end of August on both stocks have a pretty decent probability to hit a low point. And then we start to get really interesting price action, I believe, after that. So if I pull up, so here's the look here on the RSI. And one thing I want to note is that each bottom here with the X is creating this, this higher low on the RSI. So higher low, and then potentially even a higher low here, and then we follow that yellow path. But if I also take up the hour RSI, you'll notice that the RSI on the hourly is in this oversold condition as all the prior bottoms were. But the difference is we're not at the bottom of the channel yet. So potentially some more congestion on the RSI, and then as we, like I said, we might bounce no matter what path we're taking, blue or yellow here. We might bounce at the 230, 240 area, and then maybe we fail and then come back down to our low. Or this is the bottom here, and we're going to push up starting this week, next week. So if you want to get the full path, if you want to get the trade, if you want to get the exact peak date, when I think both of these memes are going to go off and to what price, sign up for the Discord. It's $25 a month. But I'll be doing these updates every day up until the point where I believe things will start kicking off, and then I'll move all of my public analysis to private in the Discord. Okay, so I'll do an update every day of the market week, of the market. I'll do this every day that the market's open for the next 2-3 weeks until I think that the inflection point is here and where things are going to really start kicking off, and then I'll move it over to the Discord. Okay, so again, AMC, I think it's interesting, could take a couple paths here. If you may want to play a straddle to the downside and upside for maybe September, which would be an interesting play. I think that could be pretty lucrative. Not financial advice, but and then you go to GameStop, and I think it's pretty. GameStop's a little bit more simple to me. I think we're clearly in this congestion area, in this bottom area, where we're looking for signs of bullish divergence, where the price is making a double bottom or a lower low, where the RSI is making a higher low to give us sort of a confidence signal that things might be turning around. And then at that point, I'll be putting my eyes to the order flow and some different tools to kind of see if we get some more confirmation. But good stuff, guys. I'm glad that this popped and dropped. It's giving me a pretty high confidence we'll at least get either sideways or downside action for the rest of the week on GameStop. I would be pretty surprised if this just reversed back to $20. If it did, I will short it at 20. Because I think this 1790 to 1830 is inevitable here. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you tomorrow.